So listen, right? Can I talk to y'all for a minute? I got something to get off my chest again. So I was at the hospital the other day, and it just reminded me of something real quick, right? This was back in my whole life, so don't judge me too much. So back about 7, 8 years ago or whatever, I was living in some condos that technically I really couldn't afford like that. But however, I did. Quick disclaimer too, this about to get real X-rated, so put away the kids, plug your ears if you don't want to hear it, or just snap off the chat. But anyway, back to the story. So anybody who know me know I'm not really into blondes like that. Don't get me wrong, I'll fuck a few of them, but not really into them. However, I had met this one tall German blonde guy. Like when I say blonde, this bitch was like straight up churn from the corn type blonde, okay? Now, this guy was a pediatric neurologist or some shit like that up the street from where I lived, up by in Children's Hospital and everything. And I was like, okay. So anyway, he invited me up to his place, right? And he lived like 2.567 seconds up the street from where I lived. I was like, okay, I just tipped. So I get up to a homeboy's place and I promise you, this bitch scared the shit out of me. He talking like Count Dracula's daddy from the tip. So I'm like, bitch, no, hold your shit together. You from the east side, you got this. Don't let this nigga see fear, cause he gonna try to jump on you, okay? I was like, hold it together. So my black ass start dominating the conversation. I'm just talking about random shit. This bitch don't got TV, this bitch don't got soup, this bitch don't got a table, he just got books. So anyway, I'm just steady talking, right? I'm holding a conversation with myself basically. This bitch staring at me and smiling. I'm like, this nigga crazy, for real. So as I'm talking, right, this bitch stand his 6 foot, 5 foot, 7 foot, 12 foot, 8 foot, 7 foot, 12 foot, 9 foot self up. And with that deep German accent, right, he like, let's go to the bedroom. I'm like, okay, Zaddy. I'm thinking this bitch got a gun all along. I'm like, so my black ass act like one of them blinds in the movies, like, okay, no problem, let's go. Bitch, knowing in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm dead, for real. So anyway, we get into the bedroom. This bitch lay me down and start massaging me. I'm like, ooh, he is tenderizing his meat before he go for the kill. But nah, he started undressing me and kissing me. This bitch ain't know how to kiss for shit. I will always remember that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? He ain't know. But I digress, okay? So anyway, he get to kissing me and he taking off everything and then he get to my feet. Listen now, oh. So he gets to my feet, right? And he just bend my leg, put it on his chest, and start suckling on my toes. I was like, oh my god. So I had my toes sucked before, but nah, this German motherfucker has some magic toe sucking skills. I ain't never had that. So why this nigga suckling on my toes, right? He jerking his dick real hard, and he turning all red beads of sweat falling down his face. I'm like, this motherfucker about to pass out. So I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I'm not about to resuscitate this bitch. Two reasons. One, I don't know how. Two, nope, not me. So anyway, he didn't pass out, but when I tell you this bitch shot the biggest nut that I ever seen, it squirted everywhere, ever. So this bitch lay down and he claps. His tall ass just claps like a timber. And he just laying there smiling at me, crazy smiling, like bright, big ass blue eyes. Just, I was like, oh shit, he done came, he still gonna kill me. And y'all know every time a nigga nut, they ready to either one, eat, or two, sleep, or three, do both at the same damn time. He ain't asked for none of it. I was like, but anyway, he ain't do none of that shit. He started stroking my face, talking about somehow he like my skin and all of this other good crap. I'm like, okay, bitch, stop hiding a gun. Where's it? And then he said something that caught me completely off guard. He was like, I want to make you my regular. I was like, what? And anyway, he stand up, hold out his hands like, come here. I was like, okay. He lead me to the gun now. This is what I'm thinking. I'm about to die. But no, this nigga take me over to this dresser, right? Over to the top drawer. He pull it out. It's nothing but straight up cash. So my black ass sitting there in shock. I'm like, what? He like, take what you want. I'm like, don't tell a black person that. So anyway, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, I'm not a prostitute. He's like, I'm not telling you you're a prostitute. I'm just saying I want you to be my regular. I'm like, so y'all, when I tell you this nigga reach into this drawer, grab a stack, and just give it to me, and I'm like, okay, well it's rude to give back gifts, so and then he walked me back over to the bed, and we lay there for about like a few hours or whatever, as he's just sitting there stroking me and rubbing my back, and I'm like, okay. So I ain't count that shit right away, because y'all know it's rude to count in front of somebody. So I ain't count it right away. But the time I got back home, let me tell y'all, when I tell you my rent was close to $1,000 per month, and that was not including any utilities, I was able to pay 2 months rent from that. Now I know y'all about to judge me, right? But don't. I had to get that off my chest because it was weighing heavily on the nigga's spirit. So I'm just saying, don't. But anyway, y'all, that's my accidental stumbling into hoe status story. Just to let you know, there are many people out there that will do some strange things for a little bit of change. I'm just saying.